Okay, February 1st, 2015. This is Ziji, and now that I got my camera settings straight, let's try this again. Alright, so I just finished my first round of GANs capture, and wanted to record the results. So this was the monkey see, monkey do version, and you can see that I have a nano-coated copper plate to uncoated copper plate. That gave me the copper oxide and a pretty nice little layer of protein lipids there. That went into a nano-coated copper coil and a brass tack, and that gave me by far the best layer of the aminos, interestingly. Let's see, then I went into a nano-coated iron nail, uncoated copper sheet, nano-coated copper wire to copper sheet, over connected via, I think this is silver, a silver wire, connected to what I believe is a nickel plated like tab for the bottom of a chair so that they slide, you know. And it's nano-coated, but it did not turn black. It didn't change color at all. So I thought I would try it anyway, and it sure as heck performed with voltage and everything, just as though it had been nano-coated. I put it through 2 rounds and nothing changed on it at all. As a matter of fact, you can still tell it's quite shiny. And the nano-coated copper plate, which was trying to make copper oxide, but was completely overtaken by what seems to be CH3. So this is kind of actually a combo platter in here. Straight up copper oxide in here. There's a little bit of combo going on in here. This was just straight up. It went straight for it. Okay. So then the next project I started working on was trying to do CO2 and having a little trouble distinguishing zinc from other metals, but I knew these screws were zinc, so I tried using these. I think the container's too big, and I didn't get anything like the results I was looking for. And then I started messing with the conditions. It took off really fast in the beginning, and it was creating GANs at a pretty good rate along the side underneath. So it's more of a literally a copper oxide, like a nano copper being created, much like in the same way you'd make colloidal silver. So, you know, it's just kind of streaming right off of there. And then it just kind of, I messed with the conditions a couple of times, and that seemed to have just stopped the process. So that was an operator error, pretty much failure, because I kept switching out different things. Yeah, I changed the conditions way too many times and kind of killed it. Although you still get a lot of voltage if you touch the nano to the zinc screw. It's still operating, but not creating GANs. Then I went to this guy, and you know, just seemed like something new to try, so I did. And this is nano-coated copper cord, like this stuff, which makes a little copper tube. So I nano-coated a couple pieces of this stuff, put it through twice through nano-coating, and then made this sort of binary construction here. And the interesting things about this, and you can see the salt crystal patina building up on the outsides in the air. But no matter where I put this, it was shooting directly into this center spot right there. It's like, and so most of the GaNs that's formed in here, and I can't really call it GaNs because what it did is it created crystals. So most everything down on the bottom there is in a crystalline form, not in the kind of jelly kind of form like that. It's definitely all crystalline. So I don't know if that, you know, but I put the same amount of salt in here as I did with anything else. I didn't do anything too differently there. So it's definitely a different reaction given this material and this setup. But it didn't produce very much. All it did was go directly to that spot there. So most all the GaNs in there was just like a crystalline ball, glob at that point right there. And then this one, this was too long and was almost literally touching that point right there, spanning across here. And so I took a scissors and cut that off. And it made a bunch of splinters like this here. Just really tiny, really very fine copper wire. And so I took a pile of that and just threw it into this jar and took a screw, uncoated screw, and threw that in there. You can't really see it. And then a nano-coated, I don't know if it was copper or galvanized steel, like chicken wire type stuff. I think it was probably copper. But yeah, so I took a screw and threw that in there, and it's gone great guns. You know, there's no need for wires or anything in this. You know, it just went right to it, and has produced quite a bit. And it's still going. It would keep going as long as I left it in here, I think. It has not formed any lipids or anything, but it hasn't been in there as long as either of these. This also did not form any lipids. Okay, so moving along. Then my final project I started, and just an additional addendum to that, is probably a pretty important aspect that I forgot to mention. Besides just a tiny bit of natural salt, the liquid that I submersed this into is actually some of the old colloidal silver. It's an old batch colloidal silver that I had. Kind of bottom of the barrel stuff, sort of expired, but still, you know, it's got nano silver particles floating around in there. And I believe that probably a couple days ago. And this is a gold-plated razor blade held on to the plastic by a small neodymium magnet. And then a rather crudely put together loop of infinity loop. And it went, it produced a lot very quickly, I think. And the interesting thing, one of the interesting things about this is that where the magnet is connected, it created a field and is attracting all the gold off onto the sides over here. I find that interesting. I don't know what it means. That's for you smart guys. I'm just a guy trying stuff out. So yeah, kind of interesting. But very effective for gold GaNs. At least that's what I think. It could just be oxidized gold. I mean, it might be just monatomic gold for all I know. You know, mana. But hey, I'll take mana from heaven anytime. Okay, that's the story, and that's the basic outline of what's happened. Alright, later.